This is going to be a little shorter practice than we are used to. We are going to work on some movements initially and then coming into a seated position to work on breathing and meditation. So come to your hands and knees. Take a moment to make it mindful. So you spread the palms and the fingers and you try to extend and stretch those hands that do so much work for us. And then start setting your shoulders over your wrists and feel the knees more or less hip width apart under your pelvis. And when you're ready there, start coming into some movement. You can think of doing circular movements, keeping your back, your torso parallel to the floor and just working on movement on your shoulders and your hips. And as you start moving, start feeling your breath and start elongating your inhales and exhales. Good, and go both ways. Maybe now making them a little bigger. Right, and then slowly come back to center and go now into extension, cow pose, inhaling, exhaling, round in the spine, and feel how that flexion is working today. As always, you can do these movements more shallow if you feel insecure of how your back is going to respond, or if you feel well to explore the full range, you can go more in a full extension and full flexion, working on those areas that feel a little more stiff or you need more movement. Nice. Then reserve a couple ones in which you're going to start sequentially arching. So you begin with your pelvis tilting anteriorly, and then a wave of extension comes all the way up to eventually leave the crown of the head, and then go from the other end. From the tail again, but working on flexion. So pointing the tail, tucking the tailbone, rounding the lower back, rounding the mid back, the upper back, letting go of your head. Okay, maybe repeat one more time. If you can coordinate that movement. Awesome. Come back up into a cow position. And there, where your chest is more open, let's just try keeping that work on the upper thoracic spine, that extension. But bring your belly in, make your pelvis more neutral, and find a neutral flat back. So it's not passive, you're working on keeping the belly in, keeping the lower back long as you work on opening the chest. Bring your big toes to touch, take an inhale, and exhale, start sending the hips back. Yeah, and maybe you make a first step of bringing your elbows down, and then you fold forward into child's pose. Some of you might not be able to flex so much to have that ability of doing the flexion from your hips. So you might need to be a little more seated up. See if you can relax the head. Maybe you have a block or something like that supports your head. And see if you can really relax the shoulders. Feel that openness in your back and send the expansion of your breath there. Think of your lower back and also of your mid back, the kidneys area. Take another full breath in and out. Nice. So one more thing here on hands and knees. So when you're ready, let's come back up. And widen your hands so they are at least as wide as your mat, but maybe just a little bit more. And then come to your fingertips. We're going to slowly bend the elbows. And as you bend the elbows, think of spreading your collarbones and your arms out as you start bringing your chin and your chest towards the floor. As you do that, and we're trying to create a little more flexibility, extension on the upper thoracic spine, keep your belly up towards the spine so you regulate how much you work from your lower back, right? Keeping the lower back as stable as you can and trying to bring some openness to the front of the shoulders and the upper thoracic spine. As you exhale, push the floor, round the spine, and slide the shoulder blades away from the spine, release the head. Okay, a couple more times. Inhaling slowly, you're working towards potentially bringing your chin and chest towards the floor. Maybe that's too much, but you're working with that intention. And exhaling, rounding the spine. Okay, one more time. Spread those elbows, spread your collarbones, chin and chest towards the floor. And exhaling, rounding. Keep the spine rounded and bring the hands back under your shoulders. Bring the forearms to the floor and turn the palms up. So your elbows are under your shoulders, your palms and inner forearms are facing up, and then try bringing those forearms a little closer to each other, maybe to the point of touching, and keep pushing the floor away. So you feel that stretch on the shoulders, right? Like you're trying to bring the tips of your thumbs towards the floor. That external rotation happening from the shoulders. And then bring your knees a little bit back. Breathe. Take a deep breath in there. And as you exhale, push the floor with your arms and send the hips back. And so your head comes to rest on your upper arms. You keep working on that rotation from the arms, from the top of the arms and shoulders. You feel maybe some sensations in the mid back, in between the shoulder blades, the very low part of your trapezius. Take another full breath. Nice. And bring the shoulders over your elbows. Extend the arms. And let's take a seat now. So some of you might want to sit on the heels. Eventually, we're going to do some movements now, but eventually we're going to be seated for around 20 minutes. So you have to choose a seat that is comfortable. Right now, you can stay in the most favorite one and most comfortable one. And then when we're ready to sit, let's make sure that you're comfortable even to the point of sitting against the wall if you need to have a little more reference of how to keep your torso long. Okay, so here let's work on the side body. So bring the left fingertips to the floor and extend the right arm up to the ceiling, palm facing in. As you inhale, reach and lengthen. Take a couple of breaths there, as working on that elongation, almost as if you were hanging from something, right? Like really reaching. And think of more of reaching from the shoulder than trying to lift the arm from the neck. You might need to incline the arm a little forward if that's too much. See if you can keep the elbow relatively straight. Nice. Take an inhale. Exhale, start leaning to the left. You might walk your left fingers a little bit out. Soften the left elbow and bring the shoulder away from the ears. You let the head tilt in that direction. Good. So the right hip stays down and the right fingers reach. Thinking of all those tissues and stacking and elongating there, and see if you can even bring a little more of that from your breath. Nice. Take another full breath. And then stay leaning to the left, but bring just the arm to the right side. Slide the right shoulder back and down, shoulder blade back and down. Keep the chest open and reach with the fingers. And this is maybe a place to explore different areas of that side of the neck by rotating the head gently. You might want to lift the head a little more up towards vertical so you're not in the very far range of your flexibility as you do that movement, because we have a lot of muscles, tendons, ligaments there that we might be rubbing against each other. So you might want to move more in a little more of a vertical position, and then see if you can lower the head again. Nice. And when you're ready, come back up to vertical. And there, let's do a couple of circles with the shoulders, right? So those where we're lifting up as high as we can, we bring them back as far as we can, keeping the shoulder blades squeezed. Slide them down, bring them forward again, just the shoulders. If you can keep your torso, your spine relatively still. Okay, so that direction, and then we'll do it in the other direction after the left arm. So let's bring the left arm up, 5 fingers on the floor. Work for a couple breaths on getting that arm long, that side elongated. Noticing, the limitations. If you need to bring that arm a little more forward, can you extend that elbow? Can you reach and not doing it from your neck muscles, but thinking of reaching from the shoulder blade as if you were hanging from something. And then let's start leaning to the right. Yeah. Keep the right shoulder blade relaxed down so your neck on that side stays relaxed. Take another full breath. And then bring the arm down. And when I work on keeping the chest open, a place now to explore maybe getting the head in a couple different positions so you feel more the openness on the back of the neck, a little more purely lateral, maybe even tilting the head up. And again, you might need to turn the head more in the vertical place and then tilting the head again to the side. Take another full breath. And then let's work on lifting the head back up to vertical. And now we were going back with the shoulders, let's go forward. So lift them up to the ears, but then bring them forward. Slide them down like that, and then bring them back as you keep them down. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Let's do one more. Keep them back and down and open the arms out. Open the fingers, extend the palms. Now let's keep going up, 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 up. And when you have those arms more or less forming that 45-degree angle, let's bend the elbows and try bringing the hands to the back of the head, keeping the elbows back and keeping your head and your spine as still as you can. Extend the arms again, lower them. As you lower them, turn the palms down and then back from the shoulders without rounding the back, right? Like that, it would be the work. So keep the chest open and to round the arms internally, or to rotate the arms internally from the shoulders. When you have the arms, again, forming that angle, in that lower position, let's bend the elbows and try bringing the hands, so the back of the hands are Gently touching the back of your pelvis. Extend the arms again. Slowly rotate them, palms forward, lift them up. So one more time, both ways. Keep those elbows open back. Extend. Keep softening the neck if you notice tension there. Breathe. The chest stays open. Palms turn back. Bend the elbows, bring the hands behind, but keep the chest open. Good. Now let's breathe a little freer as we inhale, reach the arms out and up. And exhale, bring the arms out and down. Okay. Bring the hands forward. Let's tuck the toes under, right? And just give the feet a little stretch in the other direction. Maybe you send the hips back and that's enough. Maybe you want to sit on top of your toes and breathe. Find a place where you can be honestly relaxed, right? Or relatively relaxed. You're working on a little bit of an intense stretch, but if you feel like it's too much, you can always have some weight on your hands. Good. And then let's bring the tops of the feet down. Okay, so some of you might want to stay seated like this, maybe on a block or two. You could even sit on a chair for this part of breathing and meditation. Or you might want to sit on a cross-legged position. Before doing this breath, let's take a twist. We're going to inhale and find the longest spine possible. And exhale, turn to the right. So your left hand is somewhere on your right side and your right arm is behind you. So the observation here with each breath would be to create a little more spacing in between the spine, and exhaling, trying to create a little more turn that works with your back, right? It might be more like here, just working gently on that, working on that ability of rotate. Take an inhale, lengthen, exhaling. And then come back to center, inhale, exhale. Take an inhale, lengthen, and exhale again, working on that ability of rotating the spine. If you feel a little, like you don't know what's happening with your back today, you might need to be more conservative and doing less. Breathing in, lengthening, exhaling fully, maybe getting a little more. Take an inhale, come back to center, and take an exhale, and then a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Okay, so I'm gonna keep doing that a couple more rounds, working on the direction of the breath. First, expanding the belly, then expanding the upper, even the roof of the mouth, keeping the mouth relaxed. Exhale from the top to the bottom, toning the lower belly and toning the pelvic floor. Okay, a couple more times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. So hopefully you feel that those were your own breath. That is the intention. That you feel a breath that is a little deeper, that is not the habitual breath, but also where you can feel some sense of organic movement that doesn't feel like an imposition. The next breath, it's following this routine created by Wim Hof. We're gonna take 30 breaths, more or less like we just did, a little faster. After the last one, we take an exhale and we're going to hold that exhale. Okay? And I hold somewhere, I mean, there's people that can hold it for 3 minutes. We'll probably be more around the 30-second, 1 minute hold. And then we take an inhale and we hold that inhale for around 15 seconds because I'm not there with you knowing how long that's gonna take. I'm gonna give you enough time that we can finish that circle. If you want to have a watch or a timer to check it, you can also do it more naturally, finding the edge that works today. Okay, so I'm gonna be counting with my fingers those breaths and also doing it with you, and guide you through the last one. Okay, so when you're ready, take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, belly and then chest. Exhale, chest and then belly. Inhale, exhale. 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 Those were 10. Inhale, exhale. 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 We have 10 more. Inhale, exhale. 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 Okay, 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale, and hold it out. I'm gonna try to hold it in a very relaxed way. Right here, enjoying this silence of no movement. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep your neck, face relaxed. And when you feel like it's gonna really be necessary to take an inhale, you wanna inhale and hold. See if you can push that end for a little more maybe. And when you're ready, you wanna take that deep breath in, expand the ribs, and hold it there for 15 seconds or as close as you get. And then you exhale everything out and work on recovering the naturality of your breathing. Inhaling and exhale. And just feel the feels. Feel how you sense everything right now. Good. So if you want, it works sometimes to repeat 1 or 2 more rounds of this. So you can rewind the video and do it again if you wish, like, because normally the second one and the third one feel much easier once you got a little more used to that in your body. So now we're gonna take a pause and we're gonna work on a 10-minute meditation. For this part, for the meditation, is when maybe you want to change positions and either go to a wall, grab something that can support you to sit higher, like I can sit on this block and have my hips a little raised so it's more sustainable to keep the spine long. You could also lie down or have that couch that we do sometimes with the bolster and a block, right? In general, the idea is that your positions change the way your mind works, right? So lying down is a little more relaxing and it's more similar to sleeping, and it might invite your mind to go into a little more of a sleepy place, right? So it might be slightly harder to stay alert. So, sitting up could help with that, but also it could be distracting if sitting up is hard. It's hard to hold the spine long, your back starts hurting, your hips start hurting. So we have to consider all those things and see what's going to be the best option to hold the position in relatively of a still way for around 10 minutes. Okay, so I let you do that now. Take a comfortable sit or a comfortable lying down position. And not that we're going to do anything much different than the type of attitude we have when we're doing movement. This idea of paying attention to being connected with the sensations, awakening that sense of clarity so we can really know where we are, how we are in each moment. And noticing the fluctuating quality of experience, the fluctuating quality of reality, how everything changes constantly. When we're moving, we might notice that the movement changing, the sensations changing more. As we're sitting, maybe things become less apparently changing, but you'll notice that sounds appear, the mind does its thing, and our work is to relax into being awareness, awakening all the nerve endings in a very calm way. So it's not like you're reaching, you're trying to, it's more of a relaxing. So take a comfortable sit. Become aware of your breathing without trying to change it. And you might close your eyes or keep a very soft gaze. Right? The eyes are actually part of your nervous system, and it's maybe one of the biggest sense organ for us. So you can imagine how that really activates your mind. So you can, have a very soft gaze or close your eyes. And the first thing that I want you to notice is that maybe you have an attitude towards this. So notice that. It may be, a little resistance, or on the contrary, a little wanting to get somewhere, some place. Maybe a little hesitation of, knowing how you're going to feel during it. And see if we can just drop all of that as much as we can and relax. Not in a necessarily literal way of relaxing your body, although you want to be soft. A relaxing intention. Because in theory, what we're doing is actually removing all the constrictions that we create to experience how reality is as it is. And that is actually already there for us, right? We don't have to get anywhere. It's a state that is already possible. We just have to relax more and more into it. And it's a very specific relaxation. It's a more of a attentive relaxation. So see if you can notice your body more as a cloud of sensations and energy. We tend to identify with our minds, our face, this boundary of the physical body. But truthfully, what we know of ourselves and the body is really just a cloud of perceptions. So you start also perceiving the environment, and there's a little less of a boundary between you and everything else. And see if we can immediately notice the condition, this condition of being able to pay attention. Consciousness itself. If you notice a thought, or maybe many, feel them. Notice how they came, the development of that thought, and how they change and fluctuate and eventually leave your mind. So continuously coming back to a spacious way of being. working on being so in this moment that everything that arises, you notice from the moment it arises. Like you're a mirror reflecting thoughts, sounds, tingling sensations in your body, everything. Awakening, enlightenment can happen spontaneously. It's that moment when you start seeing things more clearly. The people that have experienced it just tends to happen in surprising moments, often after many years of practice. But essentially it's there for you to happen at any time. It's not something we have to do really, although many of us have to work with all this monkey mind. But you could still have an active mind and go through emotional states and still feel this awakening, this sense of openness, clarity in the way you perceive the world. And I'm saying this just to point again to the fact that we are not really connecting to a wanting, to a trying to do something. It's more of a relaxing in an alert way. For the last minute of practice, let's see if we can pay very close attention to the breathing. So you wrap your attention around the breath, every little moment from the beginning to the end of each part. Maybe you can experience like there is less of a separation between the breath and you as the observer, and more of this interconnection of awareness and breath. When you're ready, slowly, gently open your eyes. Take a moment for that transition. And like with every transition, it's a moment to notice how you can do it in an alert way. Let's start getting to the mat. We're going to lie down and take a couple moments on the floor. So when you're ready, bring your back down to the floor and keep the soles of the feet down and the knees up. You can just gently rock your pelvis right and left. Right? You can bring the arms out and relax the shoulders and arms, especially if you've been seated. Just allowing for that spine to relax now. And bring your knees up to your chest. And let's do opposite circles with the knees. So you want to spread the knees out. Bring the knees away from your upper body. Bring them back towards each other and towards the chest. And keep going in that same direction for a couple more rounds. And then let's go the other way around. For a couple more rounds. Right? So now we're starting to feel more things that we are creating in the body. And see if you can pay attention the same way that you were a moment ago, as we were more purposely doing a meditation practice. Let's open the arms out and bring the knees to the left. Take a couple moments on that twist. If you need to adjust it and make it less twisty, you can support your knees a little higher. Bring the right knee up and then the left. Take a moment, and when you're ready, on exhale, bring the knees to the right side. And again, maybe you have something that stops your knees from going super deep, or you can bring them down and take a couple of deep, smooth, mindful breaths. Bring the knees up one at a time. Let's do a happy baby shape. So maybe like taking the back of the thighs or the lower legs, or maybe you are able to catch your feet. Let's rock right and left. Maybe extend one leg at a time. or both at the same time. And then release that. Bring the knees up to your chest and bring the head up and squeeze everything in. And slowly start releasing your back, your shoulders, your head down. Your legs down, maybe with the bolster under your knees. And then maybe you want to work on tucking the shoulder blades towards each other and away from the ears, so your shoulders and your chest feel open. Maybe you tuck the tailbone a little bit, and then release. Inhale, and as you exhale, feel your body grounded. Take a smooth, deep, full inhale. And as you deflate your body, feel the energy going down. Relax your mouth, your cheeks, your eyes. Take another full breath in and exhale everything out. And after that, let go of your breathing. Give the control back to your body. So now we are in a different way, in a different mind state, in which the body is completely relaxed, which may take a couple of rounds of paying attention. And the mind is soft but open, noticing how it feels to be, disconnecting the motor controls of the body and still feel aware. If you drifted away, let's reconnect to this moment. And from that place, begin awakening fingers, toes, hands, feet, arms, legs, and your whole body. Take a moment to stretch, to do all the wiggly movements you need. And when you're ready, let's roll to one side and come into a seated position. So I salute all that light, all that clarity, openness, discernment, kindness, awakening us. Namaste.